So this is the third fan in a series of videos that I'm going to be doing on Noctua fans. I've already done two, and that is the R8 and the B9 PWM versions. I will link all of the videos of the fans at the end of this video, so you can check them out if you want. This is the Noctua NF-P12 PWM fan, and what I'll do is I'll show you around the box, show you what comes in the box, and then plug the fan in and see how it performs and give my conclusions of the fan, pretty much the review. So stay tuned and I will get into all of that just in a second. So here we've got the front of the box. They've got what they think is the most important features to do with the fan, but I'll get to them in a second. They do actually talk about them on the inside bit of the box. Also says that it's supports PWM, and you've got a bit here for taking a picture of using your phone and finding out all the information about the fan using that. On the back you have some information about the fan itself in various languages, and right there you have some specs of the fan itself. So in terms of the features that I was telling you about, if I zoom back out, it says here it's the NF-P12 design, 9-blade design, vortex control notches, the custom designed PWM chip, low power consumption, the low noise adapter, the extension cable, also SSO bearings that the fan has, and a 6-year manufacturer warranty. That is exactly the same as what it says on the front. You've also got more in-depth information to do with those features, and here you've got some pictures of what comes with the fan, and then you've got the fan itself. So I'm going to take it out of its box now and show you all them things that come with the fan and then the fan itself. Okay, so I'm going to take it out of its box now and put the box to one side, and this cover here as well. So to start off with, you have 4 of these grommets. I keep saying grommets. 4 of these mounts. These are anti-vibration mounts for the fan if you don't want to use screws. So I'm gonna, in fact, I'll just tip them out and put them to one side. Drop these. There's the 4 screws if you don't want to use the anti-vibration mounts, because these are safer to use if you're, say, moving your case around a lot. You've also got a low noise power adapter, a Y splitter if you're going to attach, say, 2 of these fans to one motherboard header, and then you've got a 30cm extension cable, and the fan itself with a 20cm cable already on it. So I'm going to plug the fan in and see how it performs, give you the technical specifications, and then give my conclusion at the end. So here's the fan up and running, and I'll give you a couple of specs to do with the fan. So it uses a 9-blade design, it's got vortex control notches, it's also the PWM version of the NF-P12, and it uses SSO bearings. Now, all of that makes it come out with the specs that we've got here. So it runs at 1300 RPM or 900 RPM with the low noise adapter, and the airflow that it pulls through is 92.3 cubic meters per hour without this, and 63.4 with this. In terms of noise, it runs at 19.8 decibels without this, but when you've got this plugged in, it runs at 12.6. And in terms of static pressure, it runs at 1.68 without this and 1.21 with this. So it's time to get on to my conclusion, and I'll tell you my opinions on this particular fan in a second. So on to my conclusion. First of all, the fan pulls through a lot of air and it runs quietly, so you could conclude from that and say it's a good fan. But there's, it's a Noctua fan. The colours are distinctive. Now, a lot of people don't like them. Personally, I love them. I think it separates them from the crowd. If you're going to have fans in your case, you don't really want them to look the same as the fans that you're replacing. You want them to look better, you want them to look more premium, and really that's what these fans do. They stand out from the crowd and they look a lot better and a lot higher quality than, say, a stock fan that you've been given with the case. And I think that's a good thing. I think that, well, if you were shown that fan, you'd know it's a P12 compared to the rest of the Noctua range, because the fans are quite distinctly different, but also just from the colouring you know that it's a Noctua fan, and I think that's a good thing overall. So my opinions on the colours is that, yeah, it's a good thing. And in terms of what you'd use the fan for, it's perfect for a case fan. It's quiet and it pulls through a lot of air, so it ticks all the boxes in my eyes of what's good as a case fan. In terms of heat sinks though, whether it be a radiator or just air cooler for your CPU or whatever, it's good because it's a high performance fan, it's a premium fan, but only really on a low fin per inch heatsink. And when I say heatsink, I mean radiators as well. Radiators are heatsinks, so when I say heatsinks, I mean heatsinks in general. It's lower in static pressure than a fan that Noctua put out called the NF-P12. Now, both of these have their good points. This one is quiet, but it has low static pressure. The F12 is a bit louder, but it has a higher static pressure by quite a bit. So if you're going to be using a low fin per inch heatsink, say a 10 fin per inch heatsink, then I would recommend getting one of these. But if you were to use, say, a 20 or even 30 fin per inch heatsink, I would recommend using the F12 instead, because of the static pressure that it produces means that it's a lot better for higher fin per inch, higher static pressure heat sinks. So if you want performance on a low fin per inch, this one, but if you're going to be using a high fin per inch, I would recommend using the F12 instead, where you will get a higher performance by using. So yeah, that is my conclusion and at the end of the review on the Noctua NF-P12 PWM fan. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe and everything, and at the end I'll have all the fan videos, all the Noctua fan videos linked on the screen, so you can click on them if you want. But yeah, everything has been done and said, so I'm Hal Thompson. Don't forget to subscribe, and goodbye.